Sam and Hugh Edwards right now.
I did not expect to see that as the box category.
Yeah, Sam has to go in here.
Sam, you belong there, mate.
No. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Gollum's Gamers podcast. So today we are going to be doing another event preview episode. It's for the upcoming Hampshire GT tournament. So it's a GBHL 100 event. It's a very big event that's going on. Lots of points on the line, lots of players as well. Almost 70 players are going. It's 650 points, 6 games across 2 days. We are all going, as is Vince, who is going to be joining us in a little while, and also Jay. So we're going to be having a look at all of our lists, the statistics for the event that we've put together, and then we'll be doing a tier list of all of our lists at the end of the video. So without further ado, let's pull up the statistics. Can you see this?
You
can.
Did you have to do this yourself this time, Elliot?
Yes.
Damn, you're really making the most of your time.
Here we go. I have a lot of it, so. So starting with the alliance breakdown now.
Vince in the house.
I literally just commented on Vince, and
Vince,
that
be
moment,
warned, we are totally recording. No
Yes,
more talk about your search history.
Spawned in like a goblin merc.
No more talk about your
no more talking about your search history, Vince.
Yeah,
all right.
Later. Yeah, we've literally just started. So the alliance breakdown now for a Portsmouth event with, I thought I was going to, seeing loads of really cursed yellow alliances and shit.
What are you trying to say about the beautiful South?
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
What are you trying to say?
Yellow
There's
alliances
literally
now,
two.
mate.
Haven't
We
all
don't
do
yellow
red.
alliances.
How is there only 2 yellow alliances? Is Craig
red
not going?
and
I didn't
green.
see Craig with a list.
Nah,
The
No,
Lord
the
of
Lord of
Moria
Moria
wasn't
is
there.
not coming.
That is not it from Craig.
Missing out on the Balrog Gulliver combo there.
Yeah.
He would have taken a legion anyway. Taken scouts. He would have been nervous.
But, not many yellow alliances. The pure armies, you guys, the Portsmouth crowd is clearly very, a pure scene out there.
You're just pure and innocent.
Ooh, woo, am I right?
Ooh.
So not too many legendary legions probably for a 70-player event.
72 pure armies. This is the first time that pure has exponentially beaten legendary legions out here.
Yeah.
What does that say? New meta.
New meta.
Southern
Or just
meta.
a lot of bad lists.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's just me.
James totally calling it how he sees it. Oh yeah,
Jake.
I did mention, but we are also going to be taking a look at just not all of the lists, but we'll scroll through the Longshanks and have a look at the lists that we find interesting.
Sponsored by Longshanks.
Yeah.
Nothing really surprised me with this pie chart, to be honest.
Nah, what are the 2
yellow
yellows?
alliances? I definitely find that a bit surprising.
You have a couple yellow alliances in
People just throwing a spider queen in.
Yeah,
Just thought it'd be some
there's 2 or 3 usually.
I think they
crazy.
are literally the only 2. I think there's a spider queen being chucked into Moria, and
I know there's one in Mordor. Sam's taking
that's
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think.
So,
Nice.
I just think that yellow alliances are. We've talked about 650 points being difficult to build a list around because you're toying between 2 and 3 heroes. Then trying to get in an ally as well just makes it very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but that's one of your heroes, isn't it?
Yeah, but also it has to work because you have to get Hero Valor in, and be
one of the big ones that get allied, i.e. Spider Queen, Gwai here. The standard.
I'd love to try the old Mordor Spider Queen at some point this year. Unnumbered tiers.
In your meta chase at some point.
In your
it'll
meta
come up.
chasing.
Potentially.
Have you ever used a Spider Queen before, Elliot?
No, I'll give it a go.
That's
going to go well. That's going to go well.
I would pay so much money to see your first game with the Spider Queen. It'd be so hilarious.
It'll probably be against you in Aldershot. With your Spider Queen.
That'll be golden.
First bat rep. Oh my! That would continue the theme of bat reps being rubbish.
I'll record it as well, and I'll send it. I'll put it in the group chat.
I've actually got my Spider Queen right here.
Oh!
Here we go.
Spider.
Nice.
I can't really see it, but
lemon.
It's really black.
Yeah, it's really black, but I promise you, it looks better than that in real life.
It looks very spidery.
They can't look as bad as Sam's, so
It's
James,
mine.
you got so many compliments on that painted spider
I
queen.
don't know if they were
on the paint job.
compliments, but
Yeah, keep on saying
Eh,
that, but I'm not sure about this.
comments, yeah.
James, you had so many people go, "Oh, that's a sick paint job." It's so bad.
It wasn't sick. It's like, wow, that's a paint job.
The fact you didn't
Uh,
use the spider queen that I made built up with its hind legs rearing, that really upsets
Yeah,
me.
it's just modeling yourself to a disadvantage.
Yeah,
It's modeling yourself to be a Chad.
no, the red and yellow spider queen is silly nervous.
Yeah, the googly eyes really make
We
it
need to
pop.
do a
Googly eyes.
We need to do a paint job tier list of like all of your
the
models.
most
the
I would
cursed
win.
the
model.
cursed
Oh my
paint
God.
jobs.
I would win. Come on, my models are the best.
Mm.
What would go in
Nah,
lemon?
definitely
What's like a
not.
really lemon pick from your guys.
Marunk would go in lemon.
Right.
Marunk
The-
from Battle Companies. That
The
Yeah.
the
That's
octopus on
such
the
a
back of the
cock
Arbor
teaser.
Lister.
oh.
The octopus on the
That's
Arbor
good.
Lister. That's a pretty lemon model.
Love it.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Moving
pretty
on
standard.
from the alliance breakdown, we have the faction breakdown. So briefly for the audio listeners, in the number one spot, yet again, is this like the third podcast in a row or something? We have Mordor with 9 appearances. We then have Minas Tirith and Serpent Horde in joint second place with 5 appearances. Then in fourth, we have Angmar, Halls of Thranduil, and Lothlorien with 4 appearances. With 3 appearances, we have Army of Thor, Farharad, and Fiefdoms, and then a load of other armies underneath that. So 9 Mordors, gents. Pretty spicy.
Well,
Yeah.
when you're as good as me and you just sort of create the meta in the UK, what
Shut
do you
up.
expect?
Oh my
Jesus.
God,
Here
you
we
go
go.
on and
Oh,
on
silence
and
this
on.
man.
Play me the violin,
Is
man.
there a mute button?
Oh, Sam's triggered.
So dead.
Just because James triggered you earlier about Thorin not being unique. Now you're angry.
Yeah.
Nah,
that's
adding in
totally
Thor
true,
into a
man.
list, that is brand new.
No,
Never
Nah,
done
it's-
before.
He had him making meta moves.
Especially in a
true
Lake
that.
Town list.
Let's add something into
So
Lake
one.
Town.
Never
Big
seen
brains.
before.
No, Mordor dead. Seven Horde classic. Minas Tirith also classic. What else? Loth 650. I guess if you take 2 heroes, sure.
Just take
Didn't Jay
Celeborn,
Clare win
Galadriel.
Ardacon?
That's 700 though.
That was a set. Was that
No,
7?
it's
No, that
650.
was 700.
I think it's
That was
650.
650.
Galadriel
Same
Celeborn.
Galadriel,
That was
Celeborn.
700.
But he
It
is
was
the
6
Claire,
It was
so
650.
That's true.
I thought the Ardacon Masters was 700.
It's 650.
One Riders of Aemir. I
I
love
swear
it.
Jay literally his
It's
Midnight
650.
700.
Jay's list is 650. They played in the final.
Oh, I'm joking.
So that's-
Claire sat in the forest with Lothlorien and he won.
Okay.
So yeah.
so
4 Angmars at 650. Sam as the Angmar player. What
I
do you
don't know why there's 4 Angmars.
think?
I can't really give you an explanation for this. Really sorry for the really deep intro.
Could you not do a Witch King Shade combination with a Barrowite and then take down their hero and then just outgrind them with Mordor Orcs?
But
I think there's like a
you-
45 model Angmar list. Sorry,
the
Sam.
orcs don't kill anything, so
yeah, Orcs being
but you
fight
just piss
3,
and
then
strike.
D5. It's just
But the shade
Yeah.
doesn't matter, does it? Because fight value is irrelevant.
well,
then
yeah,
you
but
get the shade gets transfixed, the shade gets sentineled. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a lot of things
against
to do.
Mordor, which
There's
fair
none of
enough.
them.
That is most of the list.
yeah.
Is
There's
the
also
most
3
popular.
other. So there's
Against-
basically
yeah.
there's a shit ton of Witch Kings.
Not Witch
A lot of
Kings,
Witch
3
Kings.
other Angmars that are going to transfix it. You got AOL who's going to transfix it. It's on Helms Deep who's just going to one-shot it. What else in there?
All the Halls of Thranduil people just sentinel it away.
Yeah, Betrayer, sure, that can transfix it if everybody wants
Yeah,
to.
there's
Same with
actually-
It's just
Lothlorien.
not, the shade's not very good.
No.
There's actually
So-
4 on Helms Deep this time, so
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
quite a lot.
But one of them has no ballistas, so
I like it.
interesting.
4
Yeah.
Assault on Helm's Deep. They are following Jay's footsteps. Fella,
I think
Gollum
you
came out
mean
again and
Lee
won.
Robbins' footsteps.
Oh,
Lee, laid that groundwork.
I'm surprised there's only two scouts lists. His Lurtz is scouts there. Is there no Lurtz?
No.
Because they're
No,
boots.
No, but there
Separate
actually is
one.
one. I was looking at the list. I'm pretty sure there was alert scouts, but it was just called an Isengard list.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
one
So-
with
But
Lurk.
doesn't get any of the bonuses.
Yeah, I didn't know if. Yeah.
so only 3 scouts lists, which I guess 650. You're kind of pushing the upper limit of scouts, I guess, but
Yeah.
still good.
I'm surprised to only see one bears, to be honest.
They've just fallen off a cliff. Genuinely, I think Bert's analysis of the
They
doubles
have,
event
but
was pretty.
They
For
have
Bert, it was
really-
actually
yeah.
not bad.
It was like
They're just not good enough.
it was like a 6-month craze, and now I don't know.
And that's a
They're
craze
not-
we can say Sam actually did set, winning.
well,
not
no,
winning.
Jay Clare said it.
Nah,
Nah. Who's a bigger name, Sam or Jay Clare?
Hmm,
this guy.
Got be Scott
Little-
Warren.
Little blue face, double D, double die.
Who knows? Maybe theirs are like absolutely tearing up that 80 scene, and we just have
Nah,
Hmm,
they're
I don't
just
think they
not
are.
good. Well, it's not. They're still good. They're not.
They're
good
tearing
enough.
up the bottom places.
Yeah, they're tearing out the 2 and 2s. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And there's
They're
also
just-
3
yeah.
fiefdoms lists, which I found a bit interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, but they're all allied in with stuff, aren't they? There's no pure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you don't get the benefit everywhere with the banner, which is a bit like
I
it's
remember,
like fiefdoms actually has some really good alliances, but like as soon as you have a
Yeah.
12 banner that doesn't synergize with everything, it's like, oh,
I remember when we
Yeah.
first started playing that fiefdoms was actually quite popular, and I just haven't seen it very
I
recently.
have tons of it, and it was a big project to paint up, but it's just lots of other stuff have come in front of it.
I've only ever
Next
played the Ned Merricks.
Fiefdoms is not meta. Hashtag didn't get built. Hashtag hope when it gets buffed, it'll come into play.
I think it's
Is it
still
also-
really strong.
That's what I mean. I
Fiefdoms being
don't,
meta would be absolutely great. I don't
you
think
need
it's
to
that good.
buy the foot knights to get D6. That's the trouble. And I don't know if you can
Yeah.
buy them.
I've got 2 packs of the Forge Rod ones.
That's okay. That was it. They're on Forge
Hot
Rock.
property.
Yeah, the Forge Rod.
And you need maybe it definitely works at higher points, 800
Yeah,
maybe, and then
'cause
you
you
get
get all the
Imrahil,
Different
Forlong,
bonuses all
Gwyn
coming
here.
in.
and then
Yeah.
These boys,
that shooting gun line with
Yeah.
him is pretty scary.
they're really nice. The Forge Rod resin.
Well then, onwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty standard breakdown. Nothing. No, like 8 bloody.
To be fair, there's only
vanquishers.
one Emperor and one Rivendell, which is very low.
Yeah,
true.
one Emperor 650 is a bit of a like the Emperor list has gone
It's not
all
amazing.
fallen
the
through the
named
cracks.
ones. So it's gone Emperor, Ratabi, and Borgia, but it's got like 29 models.
Yeah. I couldn't
We'll
tell
do
it was
a-
on Battle Scribe, so I just gave up looking at it.
So it's got all 3
We'll-
heroes, yeah, but 29.
Battle
We'll
Scribe
do a
is-
750 one, and then we like 14 Emperor
Yeah.
lists when we do a 750
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cursed.
Wait till we
Um,
get to all those events around 800 points.
Yeah.
3 Army of
Oh.
Thralls as well. It's
Army
pretty
of
good.
Thor's interesting. The fact
like,
that Halls of
mid-
Thranduil's
How many
on
of them are
4.
actually 650 points, though?
Oh, tune in to find out after the break. Dun, 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 dun.
2 Dale lists as well.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
think one.
those.
I think
one's
they're-
ally.
One of them is allied.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
one
that's
might have been, yeah.
Right. Let's go next.
Dale. The
I'll look
leader
at the Dale
breakdown.
list.
So for the
12
audio,
Rich King.
for the audio listeners on Spotify, we
Nah,
have
he's not undercosted,
Well-
is he, Ash?
That's not an undercosted model, Ash. Tell me that now.
Listen, he's just the most themey character. Like when you see
Oh,
him in the
you're so
films,
cringe.
we had a plastic model, a new plastic model come out recently.
This man doesn't even
Oh,
take the
Witch
Morgul blade.
Kings.
like he's just super themey. And when he gets killed, everyone's like, "Oh, that's amazing!
Oh, I
that's
love
my
taking my
favorite
s-
scene."
I love
I like
taking my
taking
super
my
themey
themey
Witch King
Witch
with
King.
Saladin.
That's in the movie.
So themey.
So for the audio listeners, so there's 12 Witch Kings, and then the next closest count
It's
of
not
a
even
hero.
that many. That's only
It's
like
4.
almost a quarter of the
So
whole
there are
field.
4 Uruk-hai captains from Azor and Helms Deep, 4 Thranduils, shout out James, and 4 Galadriels. Then below that we have 3 Imrahils, Theodens, and Thralls. And then a load of others underneath that. But yeah, 12 Witch Kings is pretty.
But let's be honest here, the Witch King needs to be fixed.
Will the Witch King
Yes.
ever get nerfed in any way?
No.
I vote no. It just won't.
Just in the next edition, I imagine, whenever that comes out.
If anything, it
Yeah,
might
we'll
get
never
buffed
fix.
if the next book is Arn or Angmar.
He's not good enough.
God.
Mm.
There's
Witch
only
King
one.
Legendary
I
Legion. That would be
just
no.
realised
Oh
there was
my
no,
God.
There was no Army Lake Town list, was there?
No. I think
Nice.
you are literally the only appearance of any Lake Town.
Is there actually
It's a
no
lot. I
Army of
think there was-
Lake Town? I didn't even notice that.
It's only this. I think it's just me and survivors, but
That's
it.
literally it. You are the only one. Yeah.
Oh my
3
god.
Imra Hills. That's pretty scary.
Yeah. But yeah, none of them. So there's, I think, 2 of them allied with Minas Tirith and 1 with Rohan, or the other way
Yeah.
around.
The thing is, you look at all these leaders and you think how many of them can actually deal with a Witch King, and it's just like maybe 10% of them.
We're on about freaking what's his name, Chan? Meriadoc.
2 Myriadoc. I mean, I could put the whole fucking name, but
Brits are actually quite good at dealing with magic. That's the thing.
Mary is totally a beast.
Treebeard can do it.
Treebeard.
3 bit.
Yeah.
Have we got any specifically anti-magic vanquishers of the
Treebeard.
necromancer?
Yeah, there is a
Saruman the
vanquishers.
White. Yeah,
Saruman the.
he's a vanquishers. Saruman.
It's because we never talked about lists before Lady of Light became Hero Fortitude, so we never got to see her souped into lists just to banish Witch Kings away.
Yeah, true.
And now she's nowhere to be seen, and
So
the Witch
where
King has
there's-
decided to say hello.
So where there's 12 Witch Kings now, where there instead 12 Lady of Lights.
Probably not.
It seems
Or, you know.
unlikely, doesn't it?
Probably not, because you still
But,
need to ally her in.
that.
But I would assume she would be in more lists because
Yeah.
banish is just
Yeah.
so destructive to the Witch King and Blinding Light. But anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
These stats are also, there was a list added in after I did all the stats, so things are slightly off, but not really.
What was it?
So moving on, we will come to that. We have the Might Break.
Get denied, James.
Yeah, no one cares, James. Anyway,
He did actually answer me, so
We're coming to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have the Might Breakdown. Average might for the event is 8. So it's like 2, 3 Might heroes, and then squeezing
captain.
in like a captain. Yeah. So
I'm
where-
pretty sure it's 2 4 Might heroes.
That's a shout.
Seems logical.
one Boromir.
And then quite a lot of lists. Quite a lot of lists going for 3 Might heroes.
Yeah.
Lots of lists with 9.
Is Vank
Oh, Sam,
You've
your
got really
headphone.
quiet, Sam. I don't know if your AirPods have died.
What?
They totally have.
I'm glad I can't hear him anymore.
Thank God he's gone.
Yeah, they have. We can't hear.
Literally in a toaster right now.
And I thought 15 being the highest.
15? Is that Black Riders?
Yes. Yeah.
12.
But like in most of our previews, we've had like ones with like crazy amounts, and 15.
There's no ranges, is there?
I guess it high for 615.
Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Oh, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Shame.
Evan.
So yeah, 8 is the average. Where do you guys fall within that? I've got 8.
Oh, bang on
Got
8,
6.
baby.
6.
Technically not, or 9, technically 9, but 12.
Yeah.
Alfred.
Yeah, Vince, you're like 11 or something.
Juicy.
Sam moaning about the Witch King, but loving Alfred is one of his favourite heroes.
Until he forgets to do it and insta dies.
Alfred's got more counters than the Witch King, mate. I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah, rolling
true.
ones.
Yeah. And being a liability. Bad model.
I thought it was your favourite model in the game, wasn't he? Or one of them.
Yeah, wasn't he like your number 2 hero?
We have receipts on that one.
God, let's go next. Next slide.
Thank you. Next.
Moving on, we have the model count statistics. Average model count, 32 for the event. So we all sit actually a fair amount higher than
Nice.
that, other than
I like
Jay.
to see
Is
that.
interesting.
It's quite not low, but I was expecting it to be more mid to
It
high.
is quite low.
Is that 83?
Yes.
Goblin Town.
And there's also another 82 model list.
Is
Another
that
Goblin Town.
Ours truly?
83
actually
is
not,
not
but-
ours truly, but 82 is ours truly. I
Oh,
know.
ho, ho.
But there is a
Vince,
65 model list up there.
Am I going to have to provide some of the finest Jack's goblins?
Yeah, I was going to ask if
Oh, here we go.
I was going to ask if we could lend a hand. You know, his
Sounding
contribution.
like
From
me,
the
mate.
model bucket.
The model bucket that is us.
Sounding like me.
We can,
yeah,
no, we can.
32
Let me know how many you need, and we can sort that out.
32 is quite low though, I'd say, for 650.
Yeah, definitely is.
Not what I was
Again,
expecting.
we haven't really seen, especially for a GBHL 100, how it's been looking. The stats are not what you'd expect.
They're not that intimidating as they normally are.
Yeah.
Because Portsmouth is just its own.
There's a lot of dodgy Portsmouth lists in here, which we love to see.
Which we will come on to. Yeah, so a little bit lower than maybe we were expecting.
Why are we slandering our own city? Like, what's going on?
It's only James. James has a vendetta. Now he's a Cardiff boy.
I'm sort of
He's
egging
coming
it
back
on, to be
and
fair.
being angry.
Ponty Priest, actually.
Oh,
So now we have a number of bows, 10 bows average for the event. So if you're one of those
Quite high.
17 lists without any bows, you should be facing roughly 10 bows on the other side of the table.
pew, pew.
Pretty standard, I think.
I feel like that's higher than normal.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah, for 650.
Considering there's only
Yeah.
32 as the average model count, like that means everyone, the average person is taking max bows.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's on the edge of
That is some in-depth statistical analysis.
But I guess
from
it's
you there,
as you
James.
go higher.
I like that actually.
Because like 650 isn't that low now. It's starting to get away from like the 500 end of the scale. And as you go up in points, you usually see fewer bows because it's more of a bow meta at lower points.
It's in between
It's true.
high and low. So it's like it's a weird. You can either go one way or the
You
other.
just see less lists with no bows, I think.
Yeah. 28 votes is going to be Mercury Rangers. I wonder, they're probably going to be what? Hobbits at the top as well somewhere.
Okay, so moving on, we are going to get into our own lists. So, James, would you like to run us through your Halls of Thranduil list for us?
Yeah, 650 Halls of Thranduil. We got 30 models, 8 bows, 6 might, led by Thranduil, and second warband of Legolas. We got smattering of like 7 Palace Guard, one with a banner, mainly spears and shields because you want it at the back so they don't just die, so you can keep it there for the whole game. But you keep a couple in the front rank for the fearless in case you need it, because very useful. Cheeky Wood Elf Sentinel, a couple Mirkwood Cavalry and Legolas's warbands. They can move around, high movement stuff. Bunch of glaives and bows because very good to be able to shield with a spear and not have to pay for a shield basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of has terror, outfight stuff. There's very good shooting because of Legolas and elf bows.
8 bows.
It's got a few little tricks with some magic, but it outfights basically anything in the line. So
I
it
did
does
leave
quite well
out-
at this point.
I left out because it makes Thranduil's line very long.
Yes, all his war gear.
Yeah, so what does he have?
Yes, so he's got the heavy armor, the extra sword, and the circlet.
So that's the full kit bar.
Well, you can take
Why
a
didn't you
bow
give
because
the
he's got a
banners
2+
a
shoe
shield?
value.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the banner may have a shield. I can't remember if Elliot's done it wrong or not.
Elliot is notorious
I
for
think it was
copying
a
these
spear actually
overrides.
because I saw it said spear and I was like,
Might be.
pretty
Yeah.
sure it's-
Well, it doesn't really need a shield to be honest.
that's why
It
I
just sits
thought-
behind Thranduil. And then if it does get passed off, you pass it to a guy with a spear and a shield anyway. So, yeah. I found it's just an extra point wasted if you give him the shield.
Yeah, I mean, it's minor, but
It means you can use him with a spear.
Yeah, he's just.
But if you give him
exactly.
a shield, you need him to shield late game. Then
It's the fact that you can give yourself a fight 6 support still
yeah,
that's really
You did
powerful.
give him a
So if you're
spear.
playing against something like Assault and Lothlorien, where they put a bat into Thranduil or something, you've still got that fight 6 support, so it doesn't matter.
yeah. No, I agree with spear, but I mean, it's an extra point for a shield, and I don't know. I suppose you could.
Yeah, there's no way really to
think
take
so.
it
I
out
don't
of the
know.
list though. That's the only issue.
Yeah,
James has theory crafted his Halls of Thranduil lists to.
I've played
Yeah,
it
no,
like
I'm sure he has.
well
No,
over
no.
100 games with Halls of Thranduil, and this is the peak that I've found it.
This is the first time we've seen Mr. James bringing his most beloved army.
No, this
It
is
is.
a great list. It's very solid.
What would you
It's
say?
so scary to fight. Like you can't outshoot it, you can't outfight it, and then when James knows what he's doing, the Witch King can't really outmagic it. And then you just lose in combat, and it's like, oh, this isn't good.
Would you say 650 is quite a good points level for it? What would you say is its best?
650 is a really good points level for it because other people, as we've seen from the average model count, was around 32, and you're out shooting them, so that you're probably bringing them down to at least your model count, and then you're out fighting them and out killing them. People can't really compete with it.
What does it struggle with?
It struggles against like insanely high model count armies like Assault and Lothlorien, something like that, on an open board where you can't really escape it. If you lose too many numbers, you can struggle.
Assault on Helms Deep, obviously. Yeah.
So on Helm's Deep can be okay because you've got like Crandall's got an Elven Cloak, so you can hide him. But
that's true.
Yeah.
Are you worried about capitalizing on your shooting, or would you rather say play scenarios like breakthrough, capture control, where you're right there and you can get into it?
And depends what I'm up against, to be honest. But it's pretty good at all rounding sort of things because it's got the movement with the couple Caravan Legolas, but it's also able to just sit and hold positions.
So you're not
Terra,
worried about those kind of scenarios, yeah.
The terror from Thranduil was also huge at denying like Goblin Town. Okay, Goblin Town comes up to it, doesn't charge anywhere, and then you just go 1-on-1 and kill it.
Yeah, exactly that.
And Thranduil's knockdown is very, very scary when James uses
it's often best used, which people don't think is actually just you run into a group of warriors, ignore the heroes, knock them all down, and just kill like 10 guys in one turn.
Yeah, definitely. That's what you want to do.
The first time I played at Halls of Thranduil, which wasn't too long ago, at one of Tom's events with my Dragon Emperor, I just totally got absolutely over
by
that exact sort of thing.
As you phrased it, I think in a different pod, it was they came at me, knocked me down, and raped me or something.
Yeah.
As I was saying that, I just kind of remembered that and tried to phrase it in a different manner this time.
Yeah,
that was way better before.
I want to be political.
It's sorry, go on, Vince.
No, it was me, but go on. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say it's just really good. Like, and the Sentinel as well allows you to win objectives. Sentinel, that guy comes here. Legolas is so annoying in Assassination and Fog of War and Banner VPs and just I've got high hopes for you, James. That's it.
Well, I got close to doing well last weekend with it, so let's hope we can do just as well this time.
Yes, let's not mention he who shall not be named.
The Wiggler.
Wiggle boy.
The only weakness I see is possibly no March. But there's not much you can do about it because
it's not really an option for the list.
Yeah, you have to take Thranduil and Leggy pretty much.
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit slow, but you're just gonna have to deal with that. I mean, it's got pretty much everything except for that.
It's very rare you'll find that as an issue though, because not many people are going to outshoot you anyway. So
when you
it doesn't come into play so much.
When you go up in points and you add in another hero, do you add in the captain?
You take a Palace Guard captain for a Fight 7 hero and March, and just not having to use Thranduil's might on moves.
No, but you're right. 650 is a good points limit for this. It gets a bit awkward. Like at 700, you don't really know what to do with the extra 50, and 750.
Yeah,
like
700. You either have the option of adding in the captain and like basically sticking with the same model count, or you just fill out these warbands.
Yeah, you can max out those warbands basically at 750s. You need 5 models.
But then you're really struggling with the might at that point because you've only got 6 still, and it's like, oh,
it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily need to move though. The terror, if you've still got the terror,
you don't. But in certain situations, it's really nice to just be able to.
Yeah, true.
And you're also having like a point of might on a Fight 7 captain who can then combat into something 2-hand, and you've got a strength 4 guy who's +2 to wound. You can do some pretty savage stuff.
That's how you kill bears.
That's how you kill anything.
True. do you find that Witch King is a problem for your list?
No, you just basically ignore the Witch King, kill everything around him.
Not after you've practiced against me loads of times.
You've also got a cloak on Thranduil, so if you just stick him behind something, hide him behind the line, there's nothing they can do.
You then keep your line within 3 inches of Thranduil if you can, and then also get all your bonuses, and just the Mordor line just dies.
The Witch King,
they've only got Fight 5 heroes. They just Fight 6. They can't just charge in. So
can't the Witch King take away the terror
You can try sap will, but you
For your
just
will,
don't put him
yeah.
in a place where he could be sap willed.
Yeah. So as soon as you're
Yeah, it's the elven cloak. You can
the
hide
cloak.
him.
It's
Yeah.
very important with this
Ready
list to play around terrain and chokes and being good with your positioning. If you're not, you will just lose.
I mean, yeah, you can just put him, behind your line, and then you're fine.
Yeah.
Blue Man has been very quiet. What's he thinking
It
about?
has to be terrain to use Elven Cloak, though, doesn't it? You can't just like hand behind your lines and that's it.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
very
his
good.
little toe has to be touching. It's all right.
Yeah, it's a very good list. I think the points have mainly been said. Like, yeah, has no march. Yeah, 30 models is semi-low just for the points level, but it's elf, so it's not the biggest thing. And again, only 6 might is a weakness, but because with elves, yeah, you can also not call moves, but when you have elves, it's nice to pick your fights,
Definitely.
because if you don't and you get swamped in unfavorable and you have a bad turn, that bad turn's really bad. So you basically don't want to have a bad turn, and moves help that. So 6
Things
might
can
be
go downhill, I guess, quite quickly if you do have that bad turn, and then suddenly.
I'd say less so with Horse Thranduil than other elf lists, though.
yeah.
A counterpoint to the fact that you don't need to call moves is
Yeah.
you can call moves because you don't really need to call strikes with Thranduil because he's fight 7.
No, it's very rare you're ever striking.
Yeah.
So there's a counterpoint to that.
Yeah. Good list.
It's a solid list. So looking forward to seeing how James does over the weekend. Moving on, we have Sam's Survivors of Lake Town and Erebor Reclaim list. If you want to take a through that.
Yeah.
Cough.
What?
It's just the cough to get you going. I like it.
Spurring yourself on.
I didn't even know I coughed. Yeah,
You
it's
startled him now.
yeah.
He's absolutely shaken.
He's literally a deer in the headlights.
Did I cough? Yeah, I mean, I've used this list a lot. It's so survivors with Thorin. So Bard's my leader. Kids, Alfred, dudes with shield, dudes with bow and spear, dudes with shield spear, captain, dudes with shield, dudes with bow spear, dudes with shield spear, Hilda, dudes with shield, dudes with shield spear, or bow spear, sorry, dudes with spear, Thorin.
Shout
This
out
might be the
dudes.
worst
This is the
ever.
worst list run through I've ever.
This is
had.
genuinely
out
awful.
the
Yeah,
dudes.
there are guys with shield spears and shield
Yeah,
spears
I've got
on my
like
list,
some
guys. There you go.
models that have stuff.
What?
I've got other
My
things.
models actually do have
No,
wall
what,
gear.
bro?
Yeah. Oh, what? Oh, it's calm.
What? It's dudes with shield, dudes with shield spear, dudes with bow spear, captain.
Yeah.
All I'm hearing is you saying dudes like
I've got
20
some stuff with stuff.
Yeah, it's loads of Lake Town with loads of war gear. It's the kids. It's Alfred. It's Bard.
It was quite sus when you said
It's
the kid.
Thorin. I mean, I've said that in a lot of other previews we've done.
Yeah, but not everyone's watched all of them.
Yeah, let me finish, you silly goose.
Unless you're Denby.
Let me finish, you silly goose. So it essentially, you just have 2 fight 6 areas that have 3 combats, and you try and break the opponent before they have enough time or they have enough resources to do anything.
You didn't even mention Hilda, did you?
Huh?
You didn't mention Hilda.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. I was going to say MVP.
Hilda is a Chad.
That
yeah,
plus 1 to wound is genuinely very nice.
It's very niche.
Until she loses 1 fight and instantly dies.
Very
What
niche.
was the example you said? You were telling me on the phone the other day when Hilda played with Super Clutch.
It's got to be against the Eagle guy at Sea of Kings. That was pretty good.
No, I feel like it was more recent.
I don't know.
Clutch Hilda plays.
It'll come back to you, I guess. You can talk about it on a spur of the moment.
Yeah, she is really good. It's just because she's coach 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's essentially you have a big wall of Lake Town, and then you fit cav bases, i.e. Bard and Thorin, in between them, and just do 3 combats and just shield. And I mean, you have a fair amount of models, so you can outnumber people and win fights if they don't roll a 6, and you can usually kill because a lot of these have axes or like picks, so you can pierce and strike to get straight 4. They all have banner because of 12 inches of Bard. And yeah, Bard's usually on 4 or 5 might. I usually give a might to the kids just because for a heroic move.
You just love giving it to the kids.
That didn't come out sus, thankfully.
As we well know.
I said that unsussy, which is nice.
Unsussy.
Never mention Bard's, kids in an unsus way now.
Yeah.
It's the emphasis just every time he says it. Kids.
Kids. Hilda gets her plus one to wound when charged, or her and other Lake Town militia that charged get their plus one to wound. It is very niche because obviously you have to win the fights, but if you play Eagles or a Great Beast, it's good fun to kill them.
The captain get the plus one.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very niche. If you had a captain that could get plus
I
one.
was gonna say because he is a militia.
Yeah, it's only
They have like the
Lake
keyword.
Town militia warbands,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I was thinking that could be really good if the captain would have got it as well.
You'd have
James comparing everything to the Palace Guard captain.
No, I was just
Everything
thinking about
it'd actually be better than the Palace Guard captain because you can actually have a fight a strength 7 captain because they pierce to strength 5 with plus one to wound.
Yeah, but the Pascal captain gets +2 to wound.
Oh,
Yeah, but like,
So no, he's not.
what's the point level? 45 points that captain cost. Bargain.
Yeah. Is he fight 7 and fearless? No.
Can't remember.
I can't remember. I don't think he is.
Yeah, Bard's my leader, so he is. Don't play too wacky with him. You play fairly safe. You just try to kill dudes. It's got. Okay, you got 14 bows. Oh, including Bard. So yeah, it's 13 warriors, and then Bard's shot, but it can go up to 3. So
why I put the little asterisk there.
yeah. So it has quite a lot of shooting.
Like if Bard rolls well,
yeah, it can outshoot a lot. It can outshoot a majority.
Can totally do some serious damage.
You wouldn't
It's
be
really good against horses as well.
Yeah.
I doubt you'd be too scared of fighting James if you had a shooting match because if Bard rolls well with his 6 might, those elves are gonna get shredded.
Depends if he gets to go first because he's just going to lose his horse and then not get to shoot.
It literally depends if he.
Well, should he dismount? Like you just dismount in the move.
You would not want to dismount Bard in that matchup.
Yeah, it's no point.
Mm.
You could just do a move. You could do a shoot and accuracy, but
yeah.
And eventually you'll outshoot him with just the 14 might to James's 6 if you just constantly call shoot offs.
Potentially. I mean, I haven't tried it. It's James's this is fairly good against this just because of the fight 6 supports that come to the fight 6
and the terror.
And the terror.
I was meaning probably more specifically in like a Lords of Battle where you don't want to come to lose.
I think he'd lose the shooting just because it's Lords of Battle.
Yeah, maybe.
It'd be interesting.
It's a good. The emphasis is more the fact that Bard's strength 4 machine gun can just kill D6.
He rolls a 1 and Sam cries.
Yeah, it can also not go that well.
Usually, I totally roll bad for Bard. Like my shooting is never amazing, but I do get the occasional game where it's like, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. I've just killed 3 models, and it's like, holy shit, that's so free.
Well, like in a matchup between us, it genuinely depends on how many Black Nums get to you, and then. But if Bard goes ham and murders like 4, then that's that's
he doesn't care about spending might as well, really, to secure it.
No way.
And then I mean it's just fairly standard. It's pretty good. You get the occasional not bad matchups, but the scenarios where the kids and Alfred and Hilda and the captain are semi-annoying to play with, just because obviously like assassination, fog, and all those.
Yeah, it's like last weekend you played Sauron at fog, didn't you? And you just had to hide them all at the back of the map.
Yeah, I had 2. I basically used my captain's might straight away, then ran him back. So I just had a conga line of Hilda, the captain, Sigrid, Tilda, and Alfred, just all at the back behind a house. So because I gave Alfred just went, here's 3 might Bard. So I just called moves of Bard and played around with Thorin. But it's I've also got Orcrist, which is nice for the Elven Blade.
Especially when there's so many more doors as well.
Yes. And it allows you to if I do play like an Eagles, it allows me to 2-hand as well, which is nice. So yeah.
Or when you play a Sauron. Ooh.
I love how in the Sauron list, the guy put under his break point, he put
that's good luck.
That
is the Mark Pearson.
That's so Portsmouth. That's pretty troll.
Top tier having a war game up.
Yeah. So
Sauron being an absolute baddie.
fills that role pretty well. So it's a pretty good
That's
list,
from you, Ash.
as we know from Sam. So we are going to move on to a assault upon Helms Deep list from our very own Jay, who is not here. But if you missed our previous episode where we had one of Jay's lists on the episode, Jay is one of our very own Gollum's gamers. He hasn't been on the podcast yet, but he will be at some point. But until then, as he's going to these events, we're going to review his list. So he actually won a GBHL 100. Shout out. At 650 points. It was 650, wasn't it?
It was 650.
It was 650, and the list he took to that event was 7 points under, and he still won. So what does that say about
So
Assault?
this is the improved list. So really, with this list, he'll be absolutely cleaning up. But for the audio listeners, so it's Assault on Helms Deep. He's taking an Uruk-hai commander with shield, 9 Uruks with crossbow, 9 with pike. Then he's got a second Uruk-hai captain with a crossbow, 3 Uruks with crossbow, 5 with pike, 1 with banner and pike, and a bomb team. And then he has 2 ballistas. So 38 models in total, 15 bows, including the 2. Is that including? I think it's including the 2 ballistas, and 6 might. But that is also 2 of those are on the siege veterans, of course. So
it's just so a quick comment on Jay's win. When was it? 2 weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he was he didn't have to play a Maelstrom scenario, which is really, really good across the 4 games. And I think he said across 4 games he lost only 5 models in total from the opponent killing his models. He actually lost 7 models when he detonated his own bomb in an advantageous position. So yeah,
he only lost 5 models.
He only lost, I think it was something like 5 across 4 games.
I didn't know that.
I played him to the death, and I tried to hide from him for an hour 45, and eventually he broke me. Maybe I should have just ran at him, but
he didn't have a banner that time, though, did he? Where he does.
He didn't have a banner. Okay, so there's the difference. He spent 7 coins to get the banner.
It's only a minor upgrade. He now has a banner.
Yeah, really.
With the rest of the points that he didn't have.
he had 40 models last time, so he's dropped 2 and got a banner.
Which is
definitely a better decision.
Definitely the right play, because
it's still legit.
For those VPs, especially across 6 games, it's just insane. It's just horrible to play against. Like, you just die and you never make it. And then unless you play Maelstrom or a 24-inch deployment. Even a 24-inch deployment, the 2 ballistas go at the very back of the map, a line of crossbows, and unless it's an objective scenario, it's just toast. You can't. You have to hope you play this at a favourable scenario, otherwise you do just lose.
Yeah. But with so many Witch Kings, it'll be quite easy to immobilize the bomb and stuff. So that won't be as useful.
The bomb.
How many points is the bomb again?
80.
82
because of the
flaming brands.
Okay, so it is okay. I wasn't sure it was that large of an investment, but okay.
There are what is it? 1 Shadow Lord, 4 Galadriels.
Yeah.
And
I think there's 1 Kirdan.
There's a Kirdan and a Vanquishers.
Yeah. So was that like 7 Blinding Light?
That is a major difference then from what? Just 2 AOL at Le Dudno?
Yeah. There's also an AOL. Yeah.
It was only 4 games as well, so
there's at least 8 Blinding Light-esque things I can think of off the top of my head.
Vanquishers is not fun for this to play. I mean, you hit him with a ballista if you hit him with a ballista, and then
Vanquishers is actually probably okay for it.
Yeah,
really.
Depends who you target.
Yeah, you hit and you just send them back.
Does Jay ever play Blinding Light?
True.
It sounds like he just avoids it all the time. I don't know. Does he ever play Blinding Light?
It's again the same thing. Like Shadow Lord with 2 ballistas re-rolling, you have 4 attempts to get the 6.
Yeah,
and you still got all those crossbows firing. You're going to hit a few.
They do end up hitting the ballistas.
It eventually just gets through it.
So are we saying Blinding Light isn't really a counter?
It is and it isn't.
It just
it just prolongs the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just literally.
Eventually, especially if the person using it has the original Isengard dice.
Yeah.
Now onto the
That's a
dice
different story,
wall.
which Jay does have actually.
Well, these
He
ones.
does.
Symbols on up.
Yeah, do you have the newer ones or the OG ones?
Wait, are these these ones?
Hold them up
I
closer.
think-
Hold them up closer.
Are they like black or are they slightly brown?
Oh no, they're brown.
Nah,
They're not the-
those
they're not
ones-
the
original.
new ones.
Those
Let's
ones
see.
aren't it. The OG ones though.
Oh,
You've got to get yourself some of those.
They're a bit
Yeah.
average, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, legit.
So, like, if you take the Shadow Lord, you hit the Shadow Lord, he's off his horse. If he doesn't pass his fate, he's dead. If you hit Galadriel,
Yeah.
she's knocked back.
He did.
Say you even roll like what 2 inches. Okay, she only goes back 2 inches, but then next turn she stands up, moves 3 inches, and your whole battle line then stays exactly where it is for a turn because
He doesn't want to die.
you can't leave that 6-inch bubble.
And then you roll the 6 anyway, and you still hit.
Or you hit Galadriel, then send her 6 inches backwards. She stands up, goes 3 inches, and your whole battle line then has to move back 3 inches while you just continue to lose slowly. As James said, the pain just goes on for way longer.
Mm. But then against Assault on Lothlorien, these are also only hit on 6s, right?
Yeah. So AOL, I don't know if he's played AOL.
It's not a great matchup against AOL.
No.
Like it's one of the worst.
Yeah, because the crossbows can't shoot either.
Thing is though, once they get there, the Uruk will just walk through it so quickly anyway.
Yeah, it does.
Fight 4, strength 4.
Yeah, with all the pikes, yeah.
And the bat spider combos have got no good targets because
No.
Yeah.
and the bomb can just detonate and kill 4, 5, 6, 7 goblins just in the middle of the line.
Yeah.
Just depends on the scenario for that matchup because like
100%.
if you play, I know contest is not a great one for this, and there is a case of
No, it's not.
because you have the bomb, it's not as bad.
Yeah, for contest, shouldn't you keep the bomb with the leader?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not as bad because of the bomb, but
There you hope you have a Witch King, you just compel the guy to move the bomb
contest.
and it doesn't go off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they need both guys with the brands? No. Only needs one. doesn't it?
No,
you
it's
can
just
tell the guy with
just
the
a
bomb.
guy.
A guy.
Because it can't move more than once. If you compel it, then it can't
But
move
you also
again.
need 2 targets for the bomb to be able to go off.
That's true.
Yeah.
And as you said, Maelstrom, if you win deployment, then you have to deploy the ballistas.
Yeah.
Doesn't
first,
matter if you
right?
win or lose.
They come on first no matter what.
Doesn't actually matter
Yeah.
if you win or lose. Yeah, they deploy first and then.
Yeah, it's really good. There's not a lot that can do well against it, to be honest.
Pretty lemon
gonna be-
list.
It's just gonna be matchup and
Yeah. I mean, Jake could get really unlucky and play like Vanquishers and contests or something.
yeah,
He could also have pretty good matchup luck though and win the event.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
very, very, very,
Which is more likely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which we
It has
have
a lot more good
Yeah.
matchups than
Yeah,
it has a
than bad
negative
ones.
matchups by a country mile.
Yeah.
100%.
It's in the cards. So moving on from Jay's list, we have quite a controversial slide here. We have
Oh,
we have combined 2 lists into one slide because Ashley and I are taking quite a similar list. So
I messaged Elliot about this earlier, and he was like, "No, I didn't copy it. It's just like a reasonable choice to take them
I mean,
out."
it is a
Yeah.
reasonable choice to take, to be fair.
look
You
at that mouth
messaged-
warband. Literally.
When did you message me? You totally didn't.
You messaged me about taking the Witch King and Saladin ages ago, and I sent you
ages
this
ago.
list.
Oh,
Well, ages, maybe like a month ago.
I'm pretty sure I
Oh.
sent you a very similar list as well, though, because then we
I'll
used,
get the DMs.
because we used them at Luke's house because I took Cardouche.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been in the.
It would have been at the mega. What did you call it, Sam?
Huh?
Luke's tournament. What was it called?
The Bonanza.
I think it was the Gollum's Gamers Beastie Bonanza. Yeah.
So for that event, that's what we talked about because I used this list at that event.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on, Elliot. Run through them and don't say the word "dude" once.
Yeah. So they're very similar lists. So basically, they're both led by the Witch King. They have the Mouth of Sauron as the leader of the second warband, and they have Suladan. They basically have a load of black nuns. a load of Morannons with Shield Spear, a load of Trackers, and then some Serpent Riders, or either a Haradrim Raider. So the differences between the lists are that one has 39 models, one has 38, one has 9 Trackers, one has 8, one has 13 will on the Witch King, the other has 14 will, and one has gone for an extra Serpent Rider, where the other has gone for a Haradrim Raider.
And if
Other than
anything, that is your worst choice. And I did tell you not to do that in our DMs.
But I wanted to go for something different. So I thought I'll try the Raider because I get a cav model with a bow. I'd like to have some extra will on the Witch King in case I want to chuck it into combat. So basically, you've got an extra model, you've got an extra tracker by dropping that will point that I have, but your break point hasn't gone up. So you've gone up in total model count, which is good. Obviously, you're higher up, the scale from where the average model count is, but our break point remains the same. So, and I a bit more flexibility.
I'd like to hear that. I know Sam and Ali have had this debate about the odd and even model count. I think for Mordor, that army bonus is so good.
Yeah.
I think it's worth squeezing out an extra model. But in regular lists, I can kind of see the idea of always there's my cough going for the even count.
I would probably say, as not having used these kinds of lists that much, probably having the extra will on the Witch King. Obviously you're very experienced with using Mordor Serpent Horde, so you might fare better with fewer will. Eventually you can drop down to the 2 Fate as Mr. Farmer does with his Witch King.
Yeah, that's just playing for good luck though, because then comes up against James.
Definitely very risky.
James goes, okay, you've only got 2 Fate. Right, I'll just target the Witch King himself. Hit 6, 4. Okay, do some
I totally
fate
actually did that last year at Norwich. Some guy
Yeah.
2 Fate as Witch King, so I went, all right, I'll 2+ your Witch King. I wounded it twice and it just died. So, oh, cool.
Yeah, because you're not going to 2+. I don't know. I just feel like even maybe just mentally the 3 Fate, is not. You're not going to want to 2+ my Witch King.
It's more intimidating for your opponent than it actually is useful for you.
Yeah, it just feels like okay, I won't 2+ the Witch King. I'll 2+ Saladin's horse. But
yeah,
with only 2 Fate, you're thinking, sure, why not? I'll go for it and see what happens.
Yeah, try it. So I
think you're both very close to the perfect list here, but I think there needs to be a tiny bit of mashing to make them both better.
How would you write the perfect list, James?
I think Elliot has the right number of will, being 14, but you've got the correct cavalry, which is the Serpent Riders. I also think the 38 models is slightly better.
Okay, interesting.
So that's 2.
But I prefer the organisation of your warbands, Ash.
Thank you.
I did totally realise earlier, I was like, why not just have 4 trackers in each warband? Because I totally have this one. Oh, no, I totally don't. No, I don't. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like taking the mouth, like, yes, you can take Hero Fortitude at 650, but then you're spending more points on, like, elite troops or more war gear or whatever. But taking a Hero Valor, you can put like some Haradrim dudes in Celadan's warband, but then that's not like a cav warband, and that's quite nice to have. So the
cav warband is nice
at 650 if you're going 3 warbands. The mouth is just really good because is he the only Hero Valor in Mordor outside of Razgoosh and
Gothmog,
but for like under 100 points, he's the only one.
So he definitely works much better than Musgur in this circumstance.
So get Sam started.
At 650, I will have to agree.
I do think the army bonus is so valuable that every model extra you can squeeze out of this list is just much more handy than you think.
Yeah.
Like if I come up against Elliot, that one model is going to make a huge difference.
Agreed. Yeah, so
they'll probably just be rolls better with their trackers, to be honest, rather than that one model.
Yeah, but I get a 1 model advantage and an extra tracker.
You do have the same
amount of
bows though, because I have a Haradrim Raider.
That's true.
Which is better than a tracker.
Me. It's the fight for cav, mate. Sorry, Sam, go on.
The point about the army bonus is like, so you want as high model count as possible for the army bonus, but if you're playing against elves or anything with fight 5, you're going to have a high model count anyway, regardless of 38 or 39. And if you're playing against a fight 4 army, you can just feint on the front, dude. Oh no, you can't feint on the front. But like,
No.
how many people are going to have more than 40 models with a fight 4 army?
We could go back and look.
I don't think there's many.
Yeah, not too many.
But it's also the way, like, against elves, you grind closer and closer and closer to being the same model count as him. So, you know,
Well, so you're hoping that's not how it goes, but
It genuinely is how it goes, though.
no, that's what happens. So the longer
Yeah.
you can keep that army bonus, the
The
better.
better.
But hey, we shall see.
yeah, there's
Wait,
really not much in it. Yeah.
They're the same list, realistically. It's
Yeah.
the
Did you
same.
even actually run through them, Elliot, for the audio listeners?
Yeah, you
Well, I
did.
said about that it's Black Nuns, Moranas with Shield Spear. It's they're basically the same list. I ran through the differences with the
Okay.
39 and Thea models and all that shit.
Okay.
So
Whatever.
yeah. So we'll see how we get on. It's I used Mortal Serpent Horde for the first time last weekend. So first 100 taking it and see how it goes.
How did you get on last weekend?
Oh, I will go back. How did I get on? I went a win, a loss, and a draw. So
Okay then.
smack bang in the middle. So it was okay. It was at 800 points though, so I had Mudsgur in there as well. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. I've been looking for something a bit more.
The Magic just is great fun, isn't it?
It's just fun to play, yeah. And like at 600 weekend after this event, I'm taking Cardouche, which is also going to be really fun, sniping out stuff with fireballs, hopefully. So it's just fun, yeah. So but I did okay for a first event. I learned some stuff, so hopefully it'll go a bit better this weekend. But moving on, Vince, we have your Goblin Town list added in last minute.
There's not 18 mercs. I'm so disappointed.
Do you want to take us through it?
One day I'll try the 18 mercs. It can appear on a board edge and just terrify everyone.
Yeah. Do you want to take us through it?
So the list is Goblin King with Gollum, Grinner, a captain, 70 goblins, and then the scribe with 11. So that's included with the scribe's warband. So it's a scribe, captain, Grinner, King, Gollum, 70 goblins, a goblin merc with 6 mercs. So the total model count is 82.
82.
Holy moly. That
a lot of garbos.
Is quite scary.
I reckon Goblin Town, obviously, the lower the points, the better. 650, we're looking at, this is like midpoints now. Don't know if it's going to be as strong, but because you get diminishing returns from the numbers, right? I mean, 82, it's good, but a lot of armies also have enough models, right, to like kind of negate your advantage. But it can still do things. I think if I don't play Terror, which I think is one of the main weaknesses of this army, like against Terror, you got even the Goblin King can't do much with Courage 3. Terror is very bad. Against non-Terror, this army is still pretty solid, I think. It's got obviously the mercs, which can grab objectives and you can use them for like multiple different things, and obviously the scribe can be annoying. I feel like in games with longer time limits, the scribe is a bit more relevant. So maybe for a 2-hour game, the scribe goblins can actually end up doing something useful. Whereas I found that like the lower point games, the scribe goblins kind of just did nothing because you just time out and they'd end up kind of just near the board edge.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is I think this is the best pure Goblin Town gets at 650. It's pretty much the absolute limit. I'd prefer 600 or below. But yeah, this is all right. I think again, I said against non-terror, it's still good. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of got everything it can possibly have.
Almost every warband is maxed out. It's got every hero.
You do not want to play this at an objective scenario.
Probably not, no.
Not enough
Probably
goblins.
not.
Not enough.
Like, you still have to kill 42 to break. And even if you do kill 42, there's still like, the other half left.
Yeah, but you kill 42, and then there's after the next turn, you have like 8 left on the board after character.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, you still have stand fast, behave. I mean,
Oh yeah, well,
You just got told, behave, Samuel.
we still have heroes, Samuel.
huh?
Nah, not
No.
if you're playing against the Witch King. You're not
All
having
right, of
any
course.
heroes
Yeah,
stay.
The Witch King will be black darting all the heroes, right?
Those
It's
heroes
just
get begged off.
Don't
just
black
the
dart
harbinger.
heroes, Elliot. Don't black dart heroes.
Nah, Elliot, definitely Black Dot Heroes. That's how you play Mordor.
Lessons learning.
But no, it's pretty standard. I mean, it's Goblin Town.
Yeah,
Goblin Town does
just
Goblin
use
Town.
Yeah.
all your will.
I'm lagging.
It's black dart.
It's just goblins do goblin things. They swarm, they die. You win on objectives. Oh, you're playing retrieval. You have to sit at your home objective now because the scribe is going to come in from the sides. The mercenary captain is going to come in on your objective, and you're getting overwhelmed. It's just really Lords of Battle is the only problem, realistically.
Towards assassination, fog.
Even assassination, though,
Yeah.
the Goblin King and Gollum can assassinate what they want.
Yeah.
It's
You
easy.
can't avoid
It's
it.
easy to avoid, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Oh. No, we criticised this list.
Sayonara.
Now, bye. Yeah, so that'll do it really. It is Goblin Town. It's 82 models. It's pretty scary. Now,
How's he got 8 bows?
I totally haven't changed it.
How has he got 8 bows?
Is 11 might correct? Yes.
2, 4, 6.
The Goblin bows
Yeah, I think
were
11.
confirmed, actually. Right, so we are going to move on to having a little look.
How has he got 8 bows?
Sucks.
Pew pew.
Can we see the Longshanks?
We can.
Cool. Okay, so these are all the lists for the event that were released ahead of time. Do we want
And
to?
as you can see,
any in
we're
particular?
all above.
Gollum's game is from 3 to 6.
We all
And
are
then
above Jamie,
Elliot
which
in
is
12th.
Oh,
big.
me. I'm down here.
Yeah.
Vince isn't on here yet, but yeah. So do we want to look at any lists in particular?
Let's look at
Yes.
Dewey's first because I think that's going to have the most discussion.
Let's look at Dewey's list.
Here
So
we go.
audio listeners, Dewey is running a Serpent Horde Far Harad list. He is taking Suladan with 3 Haradrim Warriors with bow, 3 with bow and spear, 4 Serpent Guard, 1 Serpent Rider, and 1 Watcher of Kana with twin blades. He's taking the Betrayer on horse with 4 Haradrim Warriors with bow, 3 with bow and spear, 4 Serpent Guard, and 2 Watcher Kana with twin blades again. And then he's taking a 3rd warband from Far Harad with, well, the first warband technically, with a Mahud King with shield and war spear, obviously on the camel, with 4 Mahud warriors with blowpipe, another 4 with blowpipe and spear, and then 2 Mahud raiders with blowpipe and spear. So it comes to 38 models in total.
So, first question: do the blowpipes of poison darts be affected by the betrayer? They do. So he has only got 13 bows, which is less than you'd have in a sort of 500-point Harad list with the betrayer.
10 blowpipes.
But yeah, the 10 blowpipes push up to 23 for the 1 turn of shooting that you're within 12. That's going to do a lot of damage. This is quite terrifying if you're not one of those Shadow Lord, Blinding Light, AOL lists.
I think it would just be
opinion.
stronger if it was just Serpent Horde. That Far Harad bit isn't adding a huge amount for me.
It's the king. It's just having a king to be able to kill stuff.
What do you take as the third hero from Serpent Horde, James?
You just take like a Haradrim King instead of a Mahud King, and you max out bows way more.
To be fair, the king on horse does do a very good job.
Yeah.
He doesn't have strike, but he still
It's
fights.
just he doesn't have strike, but yeah. But you've already got the Betrayer who can use magic. He's rubbish at casting.
Yeah,
but
it means I guess the main synergy you're going for is the whole Betrayer thing, and taking
Exactly.
a King allows you to max out on that more.
I think the Mahud King gives you a second option. Like if you take only Harad, if you come up against the Blinding Light, then you really have nothing else. Whereas with the King, you come up against Blinding Light, and you can charge the Mahud King into stuff.
Is that King making it though at that point?
Not if you've got Baldo Toppany lying around.
Exactly. When he's throwing stones at you on a 6.
But no, got you two, Sam and James, tell us why you don't think that it is scary.
I just did.
Sorry, Mr. Blue Man.
Blue Tiger.
I like the Mahud King personally. I'm a fan. For I think they're 95 or 100 points with that loadout.
Fight 5 strike, 2 will as well. It's pretty good.
It's very good. It's the 13 bows. You need more than 13 bows if you're going to take the Betrayer.
Do you not think that the 10 blowpipes make up for that?
Just no. Because they're also 12-inch. Yeah, they hit on a 3, move, hit on a 4, but someone's just going to sit outside of 12 inches. They're going to kill your Haradrim warriors with bow, and then you have to walk to them, and your Mahud warriors are probably going to die as well. And if you D5, they're needing 6s to wound anyway. And yeah, re-rolling, but are they going to kill that many? No.
Against like a list like Lothlorien, this really does struggle.
I just think this list needed to outshoot lists.
Yeah, that's its whole.
This list needed to outshoot lists.
Yeah, like the whole premise of this is to outshoot.
Yeah.
But with 13 bows,
I think he's taken away from that.
It doesn't. Like if I play this, I'm not scared.
James, have you put on
So
like
are
a
you
black
saying
and
that-
white filter on your cam?
No, it's just
So
where
emo right
everyone's
now.
turned the rest of the lights off and now
Look
the sun's
at
gone
that.
down.
James, you need to be
Yeah.
looking
It looks
left and
like
right
I'm
for
literally
creepers.
so desaturated. I know.
James is about to start reading really deep.
Creepers, Mo
Oh.
and
Mobs
So
are going
do
to
you-
start spawning behind James.
Do you think this would be better as pure rod?
Sorry, what is?
I think we were. Someone said earlier it was pure Serpent Horde would be better.
Is that
I'm just
better?
picturing zombie noises behind me now.
You can get a zombie up on your background.
Oh.
Like the picture, like Sam did with Gollum.
Oh, I totally couldn't figure that out. It was way too difficult.
Yeah, this was pure Serpent Horde is. It's also, I guess you have seven guard, so you'll fight 4. But I like the Mahud King. I totally do like the Mahud King. I think it's really good.
And you get
Ah.
the
He's a great model. I just don't think he fits perfectly into this list.
Yeah, I just don't really know. I just
Doesn't
don't
fit awfully. I guess is he maybe thinking like you can end up playing a fair amount of scenarios where you
It's
are
a skirmishy. It's a very skirmishy.
Yeah.
It
army.
also counters all the terror from the stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's his
true.
best use
It
in the
gives you the
majority of games.
anti-terror.
So 6-inch fearless bubble. You then charge with your Mahud warriors, spear sport with the 8 serpent guard.
Yeah.
But then you just have like
that could be quite a big reason why he's taking it.
yeah, then you have
Definitely.
what 7. You have 13 dudes just Haradrim just lying around that are
Shooting into combat, re-rolling.
Yeah.
that could hit your Mahud. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit sussy. I'll be intrigued to see how this goes because I mean
It will do well because Dewey's using it.
Yeah, it would do well, but I think I know obviously Dewey wants to do well in the league, and I think I guess coming from my perspective, if I played this, I wouldn't be very scared.
Yeah, Bard's machine gun just tears this apart.
Yeah, D4.
But Hod's machine
Yeah.
gun.
If he does get through onto your bows, though, they will die insanely fast.
Yeah, but I've got accuracy. He doesn't. Yeah, he's got the betrayer.
Yeah.
I've got Bard, which kill them on 3s.
The lack of accuracy will, in a specific Sam Dewey matchup, will really, really hurt Dewey.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll just
And
be
the lower
intrigued.
model count.
I'll be intrigued to see how it does because the Betrayer is not the amazing at Magic. I mean, yeah, you can throw 2 dice transfix if you really need to, but yeah, I don't really know. I'm indifferent about it. I don't. It's not really bad. But it's not really, really good.
From looking at it, it looks like he's just very scared of Terra. I mean, he's got 3 watchers in there as well.
Yeah, I guess they're 2 attacks, 4, which is nice.
It counters. It does counter. I guess that's why I'm more scared of it, because it counters my list very well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what he's gone for. He's
It
seen that
counters
everyone's taking Mordor.
There is quite a lot of Terra going. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's seen what the 9 Witch Kings and gone, probably maybe 6 of those have Black Dumbs in it. Okay.
There's also 4 Angmars, 4 Halls of Thranduil. So that's like getting on towards half of the event.
Yeah. I think if we think about this, it's trying to counter the Mordor Black Numb terrible, and it would do that.
It just loses in combat though. That's the problem as well.
Yeah, he's still got a 6-inch banner and fight 4.
Yeah, well, all of them are fight 3, and I guess you've got 8 spear sports that fight 4.
Yeah, 8 7.
Yeah.
And that's it. And yeah, you got the Watchers, but they're probably being combat at D4. It literally just
their
depends.
Watchers are D3.
Yeah, D3.
Don't think they are.
With a spear, no, they are. With a spear sport, that's 4 dice. So
I could have sworn they're the same as Fatties.
totally not, dude.
Totally not. But that is Dewey's list. We'll be intrigued to see how he gets on with it. Moving on, are there any other lists we wanted to take a look at, everyone?
Let's look at the Farmer. Current number 1.
We all know what it's going to be because it's the same every time. But
our third Mordor Serpent Horde list. So for the audio listeners, he is taking the Witch King on horse with the crown 3-13-2, as we were referring to earlier with the Might Will and Fate. 9 Black Numbs, 9 Moranans with Shield Spear. Then he's taking the Shadow Lord on horse with 2 Black Numbs, 2 Moranans with Shield Spear, 10 Trackers. Then Suladan on horse, of course, with 1 Raider with Spear.
Only 36 models, pretty low.
With 10 Trackers.
Yeah.
It just outshoots most lists with those 10 Trackers.
Yeah, it totally does.
And the Shadow Lord. It doesn't do well against Assault on Helms Deep if it plays a long board scenario, as we suggested earlier. The Shadow Lord, I think, just is a better pick than the Mouth. If I'm being honest, I think it just does.
It's pretty good.
Fills more roles, especially in the shooting meta. But then we did just say that Assault on Helms Deep still takes it out anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter. The double caster with the blinding light, or the Pall of Darkness, which currently James is in.
I'm literally sat in Shadow Lord 6 inches.
James, you must be spaffing Will to keep that up for the duration of this podcast.
Move out the
strength and will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he's really had to sacrifice like only having the 1 cav. I mean, obviously, if anyone's a player that can probably pull it off, it's probably Farmer. But only having the 1 cav to for utility purposes. Obviously, he's got 3 mounted heroes as well, but
you're never really charging a Shadow Lord in, though, are you?
Double compel helps that.
Yeah, but it's just he's really had to scrimp in other areas in order to even meet 36 models.
Oh yeah, it's a completely tool heavy list. And it's just,
I think it's definitely not as strong as the other iterations of it.
No, at 650 it's kind of
slightly lacking, as showed in Landudno.
Yeah.
Did he take the Shadow Lord at 650?
He took this exact list.
Oh,
I think he came 5th.
It's very good. Very, very good.
It does better of a 6-game event, I think.
Yeah.
Probably.
He will most likely podium.
50-50.
Yeah, well, especially with the quality of us going,
Exactly.
Yeah. So moving on, were there any other lists? We were just going to have a little look through on Longshanks.
Let's shout out to Stephen Denby over here, because this is a lot more list. And I think this counters quite a lot of the stuff we were talking about.
Denby,
Yes.
so for the audio listeners, he has taken Pure Loth. He's taken Galadriel with 8 Galadriel warriors with shield, 4 with bow and spear, 1 with banner, shield and spear, and 2 just with spear. Yeah, then 1 knight with bow and shield, a Wood Elf Sentinel, and 1 guard of the Galadriel Court. And he's taken Celeborn with heavy armor, shield, and the
Stellarborn.
Celeborn, what?
and the Elven Maid weapon thing. Then 6 Galadriel warriors with shield, 4 with bow and spear, and 2 with spear. So how many models? 32 models.
What was the Elven made weapon thing? What?
You know what?
Can't he pay? Am I thinking of someone else? Another hero? Can't he pay points for?
I think he does pay for the sword.
He's not taking an unarmed Celeborn, is he?
James totally out here.
But I mean,
Well,
it is
yeah,
part of his
I-
war gear.
Yeah, but he's put it in there.
I just thought it was quite
I
obvious.
just read it out because
It's
it's
his
part
blade.
Of
He's
It does say
taking.
blade.
yeah, it's part of the war gear.
But it's still a piece of war gear you have to pay
That's why
for.
I just read out the war gear that he had paid the points for the audio listeners.
That's
Yeah,
just
it was that you
standard.
said Elven made weapon thing,
Well, yeah, because it's what
rather
you.
than Celeborn's taken his Elven blade.
I did an extra word, James. I'm sorry, mate.
That's the standard Celeborn loadout.
Yeah,
No one else takes it differently. That's just it. So
yeah.
yeah, it's good. Again, it kind of has the same problems with James, but just those problems are exacerbated a little bit more.
This is
Nice
better.
word.
Oh,
This is better. This
someone's
one
got their
James.
thesaurus out.
I no March, 6 might. It does have Blinding Light, which is a difference. But less
James'
Only problem
killy.
is this list has 0 killing power.
Yeah, less killy. It has to two
Do you
hand.
think-
It has to faint all the time.
Do you reckon James is better than
Yes.
this one?
Yes.
It's got leggy as well.
Interesting.
Thranduil's better than Celeborn.
Depending on what you face though, like the blinding light could be really, really big, but
Oh yeah, but James just walks up to it and goes lol lol lol. Ooh.
Yeah, and then he's only
lol."
got 1 guard as well, so I just outfight it everywhere.
yeah, 1 guard is.
Yeah, why has he only got 1 Galadriel Court guard? That feels wrong.
He's just gone for max models, hasn't he?
points.
Yeah, but they're so good.
I'm surprised he hasn't got some wood elves with spear in there, to be honest. Rather than having like 2 Galadriel with spear in each warband. I think there's a little bit of a waste.
Yeah, it's a good point. It just is.
So you could stick a couple more bows in there, I think. Maybe, unless he's maxed it 10. I know he has, yeah. But yeah,
This does
I think he
better
probably
in-
could have got 1 more model.
This does better in some of the matchups that James doesn't do well in, though. Like, because this outshoots, again, almost
What I'm saying with
everything.
the blinding light, like
This list, you have to walk towards it, James. That, and then
Yeah, probably.
when you get there, I guess you don't care. But I mean, Celeborn,
No.
yeah, Celeborn being fight 6 and then Thranduil being fight 7.
You just
But-
put Karsgar behind Celeborn. It's like, oh, lol.
Yeah, literally.
It's true. Yeah.
And then it's
And then-
Celeborn does nothing. Thranduil does a lot. Legolas kills the guard. Legolas kills the
Yeah,
sentinel.
you instantly 2+ the Sentinel.
Yeah.
Get that gone.
Sentinel's dead. The Galadriel Court's dead.
Yeah. But his banner does have a shield though. So I reckon
Oh!
I reckon that is gonna
Oh, it's better then. It's
really
better.
tip the balance.
Nah,
Game
shit,
way
fair
better.
play. It's better.
he's got shield and a
To be
spear.
fair, I've played Denby twice and he's 23-0 VPs up on me, so.
You're getting alphaed by the better elf player, mate.
You've been well and truly denbied.
James, mate, you got to do something about that.
It wasn't the same event though, so. Getting 1 and 6.
Or did you twice at the same event? That's even worse.
Yeah.
He's had some good practice with this or Lothlorien this just weekend just gone. So he could do well. It's better over 6 games than it is over 3. It's just gonna be the no March, 6 might, little killing power. If he plays D6, that's gonna be a problem. But hopefully he plays D5 and shooting lists.
Yeah, the main difference is the killing power. Like Thranduil's Halls are much more killy. That's
It's also got blinding light though. So this looks at Dewey's list and literally doesn't care.
It just laughs at Dewey.
sure. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Whereas Dewey scares me. Denby looks at Dewey and goes, "Oh, okay, I win." If if he doesn't do anything spectacularly wrong.
Agreed.
Yeah. Dewey just walks up to it though. I think Dewey could beat this.
Not if he uses his magic correctly.
Dewey just walks up to it and goes, I'm, straightforward.
I'm Dewey Evans.
I'm straightforward. I've got a king. If the king and
That's
the
exactly what he said. He walked up to it and says, I'm Dewey Evans.
I am Dewey.
If the camels even kill like 3-4 models, that feels great.
Yeah,
but you're instantly targeting them and the king. Because once you've got rid of them, there's nothing even remotely worrying you.
Well, it's strength 4 everywhere, and then even a king on foot is strength 5. So you just walk.
Are they strength 4?
No, they're strength 5.
What?
The
The Hood Warriors are strength 4.
Oh, the Hood Warriors are strength 4.
The king, you
Yeah.
said though, Sam. The strength 5.
Yeah, the king's strength 5. Yeah.
But he's only got 8 of those on foot.
No. Yeah. But that's still a lot.
Yeah, they have to win the fight and not die.
Yeah, plus he could probably shoot most of those out before the time they get there.
Yeah.
I think with the march with Sully goes in, strikes, kills 2. King goes in if he has his camel.
Realistically, Sully's going to be transfixed every turn.
But then the king's free. I don't know. I think it's harder than you think.
Celeborn's still got transfix as well.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sneaky Celeborn.
Why'd you say Celeborn? That's pissing me off.
Sam with his Tolkien speech. Oh no.
Celeborn.
It was Galadrim, not Galadrim.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that is Denby's pure loft list. Were there any others we wanted to pick out as we're scrolling down?
Let's go.
Yeah, one of my great friends, Matt Aldridge.
Let's
The
go
only bear player.
Number 10.
That's very scary.
What, sorry, Sam?
Oh, you mean
Number
the Riders of
10.
Aemir? Lee Hiscock.
Riders of Aemir one.
Woo!
Yeah, number 10.
Lee
Let's go,
Hiscock,
Lee!
Riders of Aemir. He has
Top tier
Aemir
gamer.
on the horse with shield, throwing spear, 3 Riders of Rohan, with throwing spear, Gandalf the White, Shadowfax.
And we can tell right now this is winning best painted.
Oh, millions.
Yeah, Lee's
There-
painting is
Without
beautiful.
yeah.
In
For those
Gandalf
alleged
Rohan,
super glue people.
there are 8 Riders of Rohan and then Erkenbrand on horse with 3 Riders.
This
With
is
Red
my
shields.
this is my secret winner of the event.
Yeah, I back Lee to win.
Yeah, this is my dark horse.
Lee is legit.
Nah, he's got Shadowfax, mate.
Warhammer Portsmouth.
It's not a dark
who is it?
horse.
Isle of Wight.
That's very ironic. It's really not a dark horse, but it is. A dark horse.
You've just been had there, mate.
I think the only way to make this playable is to have more heroes, a bit like Rise of Théoden, and just make the most out
Only
of
way
it.
to make it playable is at
Like,
like 2,000 points.
The
No, you
only
need-
route to success.
You need to make the most out of the sun turn.
Yeah, but that's 12 inches. You need more riders then at that point.
Because you don't care about the fight value, because
Yeah,
you just do it for this
no.
turn.
You want
Hit
less
That's what it
heroes,
strike
says.
everywhere.
less heroes, more cav, and go. I'm winning more fights, knocking down, killing more that often.
Yeah, but you want the
No,
might
but-
from the heroes to be able to call heroic moves.
Yeah, heroic moves and combats. You want
this is
to
still-
maximum heroic
And
combats.
the banner
That's
from
that.
Erkenbrand on the Red Shield Riders is good.
It's just still 9 might, right?
That's
Yeah.
true.
And you get
if you
March with
combat, you
Erkenbrand
still
as
get
well.
it, don't you?
Yeah. Great list. Secret winner.
He's
Lemon
clearly,
Rest.
and as you can see by his Longshanks awards, he's on a 5-win streak. May it continue.
How do you know that, Ash? Where does it
It's going to
say?
be an 11-win
No,
streak.
the V. The V.
Oh, does that mean?
Click on it.
5 wins consecutively.
Oh, fucking hell, Ash. You Longshanks hardcore nut job. I did find it quite funny though. Given the raging hard on that you have for Longshanks, Sam is above you.
Yeah.
What can you say? When he's the Swindon champion, that badge hurts me to this day.
I don't think we can see like the ratings because I think our cameras might be blocking it, but
Yeah.
there is rating over there.
Me out being the Swindon champion.
Oh, there you go. They can probably see it now at the bottom.
An 8-point difference.
An 8-point lead.
Grrr.
Right. So any other lists we want to pick out?
Yeah, Josh Sherman's got an interesting Black Riders. I don't know how I felt about it. He's
What
got
did you
2
find
wraiths with 1 might and no fate.
2?
Yeah,
he
that's
has got-
very interesting.
8 wraiths. That's pretty scary.
Yeah.
It's 650.
It's completely different to how I'd ever seen it. I thought that was interesting.
He's gone for spam wraith, which is not something you
Spam
see.
wraith. No.
It's pretty
But it makes it much harder to break.
And it gives him quite a few more screeches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any others we want to quickly run through?
Hmm.
I think that's good.
Yeah, I looked at all of them already. I can't think of anything else that stood out hugely.
Okay. So we're going to move on to the tier list. Where we have everyone down here ready to go. So first
Lemon.
off, we may
Why
as well
does
start.
Sam look like that?
These are just taller thumbnails. You may as well start off with mine and Ashley's lists because Ash was at the start and they're very similar. So where are we putting them? Oh yeah, what do you rate about the Hugh Edwards as the bottom tier?
That is so sus from you. Oh my god.
I didn't even see it.
That is
That's
so. I didn't even
hilarious.
see that either. I thought, why did you just got Hugh Edwards being a paedophile, and then I just see it's the bottom one. No one could be putting that tier because that's awful.
Nah, he wasn't.
God, I felt that was
No
a pretty
charges were
current.
pressed.
I felt that was a current.
That's
Current.
incredibly lemon from you.
You could have
That's
just
so
put
unexpected.
Djokovic, and that would have been more.
We put North Macedonia before, and I just feel Hugh Edwards has taken some huge L's recently. And
They've all been football teams though, and now we've gone to an actual nonce.
Pretty odd from you, Elliot, mate.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
odd.
that's
unconfirmed.
good.
He's unconfirmed, but
No, Sam and Hugh Edwards right now.
I did not expect to see that as the box category.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Sam
fun.
has to go in here.
Sam, you belong there, mate.
No.
Oh my god.
Anyway, where
We have to
are
start doing a current affairs channel.
where are we putting mine and Ash's lists?
So mine's clearly better. They're both silly nervous.
Mine's clearly
And
better.
it's
Classic
just above you and silly nervous. Unfortunately for you, Mister.
Do other people agree with that sentiment?
They're literally both the same.
They are literally exactly the same.
But
They're literally the
based on the differences, whose would you put ahead of the other?
They're too minor that I
Genuinely, they're exactly
don't
the same.
care.
Yeah.
There is no difference.
No, I agree.
It literally comes down to player
So if
skill.
no one's going to vote, then I'm putting mine at the top because
Yeah, I like that.
Oh,
Ego.
oh, no one wants to vote on it. So fine.
They're both the same. They're both equal. They both
Yeah.
do the same thing.
However,
It's
the player
literally-
skill is.
It comes down to player skill. So
Ash about to find out he's worse.
Ash would use the list better than you would.
That is hard to argue, but mine,
So Ash goes above you.
mine is going.
Nah, I think Elliot belongs above.
I'm so surprised Sam
Vince
jumped
has-
in on my team there. I was
Vince has the
almost
final vote.
certain he was going to do.
It's on. Sam is on any team but my team, and unfortunately, that is your team, Ashley. So
No, that's a very valid point. Ash is going to.
It totally is a valid
better than
point,
you.
but
as
I
valid
like seeing
point,
Elliot's face above Ashley, so we're going to keep it like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it to be
Like
like, "Wait, let's talk about-" I'm not saying it to
Um,
be like, "Wait, Elliot, yeah, suck my cock." I mean, as in Ash is gonna. Ash has.
Oh,
way
there's no
more
kids around
experience.
he totally does love that.
here,
Ash has way more experience than you do, so it's like he's just gonna get better. He's gonna get more return out of it.
Of course.
If we play in a mirror matchup and Elliot beats me, oh, that'll be a real
It's like-
shame.
If it's
Review
how
the
do we
event.
think we're gonna do with our lists? I think Ash is most likely going to do better than Elliot at this event.
Mm.
It seems likely considering his experience.
So that's why I would put Ash a little bit above Elliot, but they're the same list.
Yeah. I'm staying above Ash. Moving on, we have James.
That's pretty Chad.
Where are we putting James's list?
I think I'll
I
jump
actually think-
both of them.
Also Thrandy.
I just don't think it's better than ours, James.
I don't know
Totally
where
is.
this. I don't know where this falls. I'll be honest.
It's a silly nervous list, and I think it could do well. It just doesn't have the breadth of tools across the 6 games to do as well as mine and Elliot's.
I don't know.
James.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's very good at a straight fight, but
It looks like that on paper, but actually playing it, it's not that simple.
no, I get that. But there will be situations where it's not just going to be a fight. You might need a few faster pieces.
That's why you
You
got
can get
3
screwed
cav.
on matchup a little bit worse than me and Elliot can.
I would disagree with that. I'd say I have fewer bad matchups than you do.
I think the magic with the Witch King
Yeah.
and the tools that they both have with the double drain courage, double
I'm not sure
transfix.
how much terror mitigation is there.
Like, actually, we've played this matchup a lot, and it's pretty rare that you come out on top of it.
That's true, but this isn't necessarily a head-to-head matchup.
No. But like you're saying, the magic is a big effect. You have an awful lot of magic.
No, the magic has a big effect on the potential opponents that I can play with my magic, not against you necessarily.
Oh, I thought you were saying that was what the weakness of mine
Yeah.
was. Why it would be
Over
worse.
6 games. Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, I meant over 6 games. My magic is going to be should elevate my ranking more than yours because it's more beneficial in more of the scenarios. More.
It's just got more tools.
That's,
Yeah.
that's
Different
like,
things it does. That's all.
you could say the same argument for James's list regarding Legolas.
Yeah, 100%.
True,
And the
but
fact that I have an
Legolas,
strat that guarantees a go from a 6, and you can fail to cast with your Witch King.
yeah, but Legolas is also less reliable than a Witch King.
What, a 2+?
Yeah, but then a 6 to wound.
Well, it depends what you're shooting.
Yeah,
It's very rarely a 6 to wound.
it's not the
you
mirror
have 3
match,
might.
you silly goose.
Yeah.
So if Legolas is more reliable than the Witch King, then why is Legolas not overpointed, but the Witch King is? Ooh,
Ash
Because
dying
the Witch King
on
can
that
do
hill.
everything in the game for
exactly.
very cheap.
And that's why we'll finish above you. Or
No,
I think we should.
That's such a poor argument you just put
it
there.
really is.
That was so bad. Oh my god.
It was
That
perfect.
was horrendous.
He's not happy.
It literally just depends. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, I think it's silly nervous below
Whether it goes below
the
or above
Mordor
ours.
Rod. Yeah.
I think it just is below.
Because yeah, James has no or less cav, no march, but then Legolas shoots the cav. Oh no, your advantage you did have against the list is now gone.
That takes 3 turns though.
I'm not on about you versus James, you mong.
Oh,
It's just we've already said this. You said throughout the games that you'll play, not just the matchup.
Yeah.
James
true,
can
but
shoot the
how
cav.
many?
Also,
what's
in this event, the average model count is 32, which
Yeah.
is low, and I have 30.
Oh yeah, we're not saying your list is.
Yes, but
We're
the
not saying your
games-
list is bad. Your list is definitely good, but it's just slightly worse than mine.
I think to the model count point though, I
Uh-huh.
mean the games that you're going to be playing at the end of the event, if you're given a chance of, coming top 3, are going to be against lists which aren't quite close towards the average count of 32.
But they're your likes of your
How do
witch
you know?
studies. They're your witch studies.
Because you should be playing the higher end players, which most of their lists are a fair bit above that.
But they're your Witch King Sunny lists, which James has beaten many a time with it. They're your even if you say Dewey's list, the Terror, yeah, the Bird King dies, it's pretty good against it. My list is the Fight 6 is really good against it. Alfred's dead, kids are dead, really good against it. It's when it comes to the upper echelon of players there who are gonna, go 4-0, and you get these 3-1, 4-1 matchups. James's list against them is pretty good, apart from Assault.
Yeah.
The infamous J.
So it's like,
Oh, both the assaults are quite good.
yeah, but it just depends. Like it's not.
I think James, as I said earlier in the podcast, I hope and expect James to do very, very well. It's just some of the scenarios and some of the matchups are less favourable to James than they are to my list and Elliot's list.
They're very comparable though.
Yeah, they are. Like.
Oh yeah, but we're only talking we're literally talking in the same tier, just above or below ever so slightly.
I'd put James right in between.
Classic game of
That seems
move.
fair, and that means Ashley goes at the bottom. Which
Whey!
Can't wait to finish the highest again.
James in the Mordor.
Yeah,
Doing
seven.
again. I finished the highest.
Yeah, James finished highest in 3-1 last week.
At Ludard, no. True that.
James loves it in a sandwich as well, don't you, mate?
I really do.
And James is not taking a meta slave army, so got to give props.
Lol. Moving on, we have Jay with his assortment.
Ellie just goes, lol.
I think this is Hugh Edwards.
Yeah,
We have our first Hugh Edwards list.
I feel so bad putting anyone in Hugh Edwards tier. That can't be a thing.
Wait until the list after Jay, because that's where that one's going.
Yeah, Jay's has got to be Hugh Edwards. I mean,
Stop the Jay.
Can we change the lemon to Hugh Edwards? Because any list that is up there is going to be a paedophilic list to play. Then I'll be happy to put in there because it's the best list, but also
you're saying it's a lemon list.
It is.
It's definitely
obviously
lemon.
lemon.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah,
it's lemon.
Yeah.
He's won
As we said earlier, he lost like 5 models.
Yeah, over 4 games. So
Yeah.
do we predict a nerf coming for them or not?
No.
I hope so. The thing is, it's already been nerfed, and it doesn't matter. They should have made that. They should have made that. You can't shoot. Is it within 6 inches?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least 12.
Even if they made that 9 or 12.
how often?
Yeah, I think 12 would make a big difference, but
How
6 really doesn't.
often have they
12
ever
do a lot.
nerfed something once and then nerfed it a second time? Has that ever been done?
It won't get nerfed.
No. So
Nah.
yeah, I just feel that maybe the nerf they did, they should have gone a bit harder because it's still very good. Like
I
it's
don't know.
lemon in basically every list we do.
I would not put the 3 bomb list in lemon.
No, but like, sorry, like every points level, most points levels that you see, it is.
But if you run it as competitively as it's meant to be run,
Thing is, though, it doesn't actually win that many events compared to how many it goes to. Like, if it's so
doesn't
grossly
really
OP,
go to that.
Yeah,
many.
it does.
It's only really Jay, and that has happened
Doesn't
recently.
really. I saw it when sort of this time last year, like around Ali's event last year. I was seeing it a lot. I was playing it like every event. Bert was playing it. There were some other people playing it.
how Bert hasn't podiumed with it is just
To
beyond
be fair, though,
belief.
Jay is very good, and he
Yeah.
probably, makes the most out of this list. The list is very good, but it probably does take a bit of skill to.
Oh yeah, I think we are
Like-
kind of selling Jay's skill short here.
Oh yeah, no.
Yes.
But it's just like I think. Yeah.
Although it is point and click, it also requires you to point in the right
Point.
direction.
Like,
And
click on the right thing.
Yeah,
you want to
'cause
click on the right
pointing wrong.
thing.
It's deployment.
I can
and target
see it.
priority.
I can see it going wrong as well. Like
Mm.
it's not.
If
You
you
also
deploy
need to-
bad, you lose.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's just currently better in the meta at the moment because it's either D6 or D4, which makes the crossbows a million times better.
It's very, 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 very lemon. Let's be real.
You also need to pay a shit ton of money for the original Isengard dice as well. So that's a bit of a bomb.
But that
Nice.
also does help you roll always to hit and then always to scatter. Actually, no, you don't
Yeah.
scatter. You directly hit whatever you want.
Oh, that's a blinding light. Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I'm not scared of this at all. Assault on Helms Deep is just a bit.
That's so
Nah,
true. Oh, you've got ballistas
true.
at the back of the map. Scribe.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, Vince.
It's just
If you play
yeah,
Jay
so-
round one, and
Vince
it's,
lolling at Jay.
if it's like recon, you just walk slowly up the board and just win.
Yeah. Vince plays all the assault on Helms Deep and just beats them all.
Mm.
So it's a lemon list from Jay. Moving on, we have Sam.
You.
It's got to be Hugh, doesn't it?
I mean-
Just look at that face. That's you.
It's your destiny, Sam.
I think it's silly nervous below all of the 3 lists in there.
Here.
Yeah.
You think it's? Worse than the Halls of Thranduil?
They're all like so. They're all so good in their own ways. Like you're really splitting hairs, and it's on like matchups and scenarios where
The splitting hairs should be the Mordor 7 Horde list, top of silly nervous. Then Sam, then James.
I don't know. I think the Lake Town's better.
I think that's what it should be, but I'm not going to get my
I think the Lake Town's better than Halls of Thranduil. It's just the double heroic combats.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Lake Town engine.
James's rock meme
Yes.
face is basically in a matchup, but again, I
It's
don't
got-
think
It's just got so much more
tools-
might.
Yeah,
Like James only having 6 might is like
Simply
is
just
quite
having
tough.
might does not mean you win, though.
yeah, I know, but having might helps a lot.
The Terror does kind of suck for Sam, though, in that matchup. But
It's so simple. You just have a line of crap warriors, and you just have 2 heroes that are heroic combat. It's very easy to play around.
you're taking disrespect on your name there, Sam.
No, it is though.
Yeah, I mean it's close.
I don't think
but-
you disagree with that.
It's close, but I think
I mean, the
think-
premise of it is certainly correct. It's loads of warriors that want to die slowly. It's similar to like an Angmar thing.
you do have 2 heroic combating fight 6 heroes. Obviously, in your direct matchup, you have the fight 6 supports to counter Sam, but lots of lists are going to struggle to deal with Bard and Thorin heroic combating every turn.
Even James's list, even Sam's list just charges into
And kills. Yeah.
kills 4, strikes both times with its unlimited might every single time, and just probably breaks James eventually.
It's like if there's a case of at first time, the first charge, you can charge stuff that isn't fight 6
Yeah,
and then get that off. And then afterwards, everything becomes fight 6 once they charge. So if you can kill, 2, 4, even 4 models first turn, but aren't fight 6, that feels good. But you can probably kill more than that. It's probably going to be all 6 models-ish, I reckon.
again, you also outshoot James, so
That would be James's bad turn that we referred to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we have to speak about my list having a bad turn to make it on the same level, I don't think it goes below.
I mean,
but it's not a
technically-
bad turn. I don't know why you said it's a bad turn.
I
It's
think
just the first turn. Sam charges in.
It's
strikes with
not
both
though,
of them.
because you instantly they're not getting there with their horses.
But
Or
I,
goat.
I think, yeah, maybe, but I think Sam also outshoots you with his 44 models with accuracy and his strength 4 machine gun.
No.
Sam loading up the clip. To be
Because he
fair,
has to have his strength 4 machine gun at the front because he's not going to have a horse. I also have accuracy and just better bows that wound on 5s, hit on 3s, whereas Sam hits on 4s and wounds on 6s.
he does
True,
have
but it's
twice.
more about Bard with his hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s, and
5s.
then killing you with all his might.
That's
How many
dependent on
bows do you
him
have?
doing everything by himself is not enough. I have 8 plus Legolas.
Whereas Sam's got 14 plus
8
Bard.
including Leggy, no?
No.
It's 13 warriors plus Bard, so 14 minimum, 15,
14.
16. So potentially 16.
It's just the might. If you're spending might on heroic shoots, then when Sam gets into combat, he just dictates all the combat.
Yeah, Sam cares about that a lot less.
He's not charging though, so he's not dictating the combat.
Which just gives him an even more of a reason to sit back and shoot and win the shooting war, which
But we're only
I think
looking
he
at
doesn't.
it.
probably does.
We're only looking at it in a direct matchup, though.
I think when it
Yeah,
comes to,
which isn't relevant.
No,
It's not relevant at all.
we're talking about it
Again,
for 5 minutes, though.
Sam has more tools, just like mine and Ennet's list does, than yours does, James, unfortunately.
I'd say
That
Sam's
doesn't
list
mean-
definitely has the least tools out of them. It literally only has heroic
James,
combats
James
as the
does
tool.
have James does have a lot of tools, but 2 heroic combats a turn
14 might is a huge amount of tools.
is
It's
with-
not. It's a tool.
But it's the most powerful tool that there is.
yeah, it's mainly the
Only if you're able to use it.
it's mainly the higher model count is one thing. The 12-inch banner, so you have a banner on your whole line.
That's
The
also pretty big.
the 2 combaters is another tool. Obviously, the Elven Blade is another tool. The opportunity to where to place might is another thing. It's admittedly James. If I was to play James, it's like it's a counter matchup against my list, but like it's still fairly okay. Like it's still
Don't you have a lot of D5 as well, James?
yeah, he does.
A fair bit.
So yeah.
Well, a huge amount.
It's
like-
not elves with 2 dice. When you get out that 3-inch banner zone,
What I'm saying, yeah. Then
they do die. Like they're not invincible, especially the D5 ones.
But the D5's never at the front, so
Things like
Okay,
what
well
models
Sam's going
were-
to get killed anyway, so he just piercing strikes and then hopes to win with his massive more models.
does Thranduil only get a 3-inch or a dismay, or is it 6 as normal? Oh, it is 6. Okay.
It's like
why
I'm
would it be
courage,
different?
I'm courage 3,
Thought it was like
so
a double.
it's 7. So it's pretty average. I do courage test to get in.
It's way more likely you charge than that neg one with the
It just means he loses his model
Harbinger.
advantage.
Yeah, but it's then if he does have a decent turbocharging and then he's got the banner as well. Yeah.
And then it depends because then you wrap and then you have it literally just depends. I think they're all very, very similar. Like Elliot said, it is just.
Well, if we're technically
We are totally splitting
it down, look, this actually looks we have just enough people for categories. No?
Oh man.
With how it currently is. Well, with which ones were on there, yeah. Shall we move on to Vince's list? Let's wrap up. Where are we putting Vince's Goblin Town?
Certainly nervous, unfortunately, Mr. Vince.
May I remind you that my captain is a pick?
Sit down, Ashley.
I've been done.
It's not. I get why you think it's nervous, but there are a lot of really, really good matchups and scenarios for a horde like Goblin Town. It's the best horde army in the game. If it's not playing Terror. So if I'm not playing Terror and it's like an objective.
At that event, though, that is a big if.
It's quite a lot.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
Fair enough. I mean,
bottom of silly nervous.
So Sam's voting bottom of silly nervous. I'm probably gonna go to top of nervous with James. Ashley?
Top of nervous.
Looks like it's top of nervous. But I do think, if it does well on scenarios and matchups, it's definitely in the silly nervous mix.
Like,
I think you guys are underselling it, to be honest.
Depends on the scenario, because I don't think any of you would want to play it in like domination.
I just gave it more gas, by the way.
True, but it's the fact that it's got to play all 6 pools, which means you have to play the rubbish ones for you.
Is it all 6? Like,
is it not random 18?
I thought it was random.
I think it might be random 18, actually.
Or if it's random 18, it goes up to silly nervous.
It goes silly nervous then, if it's random.
Yeah.
Well, we're then tied 2-2, so me and James had it top of nervous, and then
I'm pretty sure it's 18.
I think about it. How do you win? Come on.
If there's no guarantee, it has to play the killing pool to the Death Lords and to the contest to the Death Lords.
I think I do remember seeing it say 18.
We'll get our TO Sam to look it up for us.
But it's in the mix. I just think maybe it relies heavier on not running into those scenarios. But if it's all 18, then obviously that helps.
Because most of the scenarios are good for it. That's the thing. Like, Lords to the death, those are bad, but
to the death necessarily isn't that bad.
Huh?
To the death necessarily isn't too bad because it's quite hard to kill 42 models.
It's not.
No banner. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, to the death is all right.
The no banner definitely allows someone with a banner just to castle in choke points, and then you do lose.
You also lose a lot to shooting.
It's just if you're able to use your numbers properly. If you do and you can surround them and do like lots of 2-on-1s, then you're having a great time because they'll be shielding and they just can't deal with the numbers. But it's just whether it depends on the terrain as well. If there's lots of choke points, it makes it more difficult. But if it's a big open board, you can just wrap around and.
Yeah, it literally just says 6 different scenarios will be played over the course of the 2 days. All scenarios will be played on 4x4 boards. Each will be decided before the start round.
So I think it goes up to silly nervous then.
I get why you think it's nervous, but
we're tied 2-2, and if Vince has
just leave it in nervous.
Half a vote, it goes up to bottom of scene.
Against Terror it's difficult, but I just have to get very lucky with the matchups. That's all.
They're all very good.
Then I have to get luckier than the rest of you, I think. So it's definitely the worst list because I reckon I have to get luckier with
relies more on the luck. Yeah.
They're all very good lists. So
this is where we've ended up. The order. Any final thoughts from anyone on the order or anything? Or the event?
Will J win a third 100 with Assault on Helms Deep.
100.
It's
200.
definitely potential.
He definitely.
I reckon he does. I reckon he can.
He's in the mix for sure. He's definitely up there.
Unless you play 3 Maelstroms.
Well, unless he plays
Yeah,
me.
that's the thing. But now that it isn't pools, it could either be great or bad.
I actually think the fact that it isn't pools means it's way better for Jay, because then he's not guaranteed to play Maelstrom, whereas we thought it was. So yeah, I reckon Jay wins another 100 points.
For the squad. Let's get it. Okay, well, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching another episode of the Gollum's Gamers podcast.